This video covers the 5 keys to horse pasture management. I'm Dr. Krishona Martinson, Equine Extension Specialist at the University of Minnesota. For this example, let's assume we have 2 healthy adult horses. The horses are housed in a dry lot that includes a shelter, water source, and feeders for hay, ration balancers, and grain. In addition, there are 2 pastures that are connected to the dry lot with gates, and the horses currently have access to pasture 1. The pastures contain cool, seasoned grasses. After horses have grazed pasture 1 down to 3 to 4 inches, they should be rotated to pasture 2. Horses do not graze uniformly and tend to prefer shorter grasses and avoid grazing taller grasses. To keep grass growth uniform, mow pastures to a height of 3 to 4 inches after rotation. Mowing lower than 3 inches can make grasses less productive. The entire pasture may not require mowing. Focus on the taller areas the horses did not graze. Mowing helps maintain consistent grass growth and maturity, encourages uniform grazing, helps control weeds, and is recommended after each rotation. Dragging helps disperse manure piles. Horses rarely graze near manure piles, and larger piles can inhibit grass growth underneath. To help kill parasites commonly found in manure, drag pastures during hot and dry periods 2 to 3 times each year. Rainfall will help disperse manure and its nutrients into the soil, thus encouraging horses to graze uniformly. Many types of drags work, including pallets, sections of chain link fence, and drags designed for pastures. Resting allows the pasture to regrow from 3 to 4 inches to 6 to 8 inches and is needed after each rotation. Regrowth can happen quickly during cool, wet periods and when fertility is optimized. Regrowth can be slower during hot and dry periods. Without rest, pastures become overgrazed and weedy. Utilizing a dry lot with multiple pastures makes it easier to allow pastures to regrow. Pastures should be fertilized based on soil test results. In the Midwest, fertilizer can be applied each spring as soon as soils are dry. Horses should be held off pastures until the fertilizer pellets are no longer visible. It's best if fertilizers are applied right before light rainfall to help it dissolve into the soil. Manure should only be applied if there is more than 2 acres of pasture per horse. Even with manure application, additional fertilizer will likely be required. Weed control is best achieved with mowing, avoiding overgrazing, and maintaining fertility, which helps grasses outcompete weeds. If a herbicide is needed, read the label before application and ensure the product is labeled for use in a pasture, and follow all directions and grazing restrictions. After grazing restrictions have expired, grazing can resume. To review, the 5 keys to horse pasture management include mowing, dragging, resting, fertilizing, and controlling weeds. Implementing these pasture management strategies will result in a more productive pasture and tend to be easier to accomplish when using multiple pastures and a dry lot.